Hey, what's good everybody? This is Arul here, bringing to you more amazing Call of Duty mobile content. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the top 5 assault rifles in the game. Now, if you ask me why I made it at the present time, it's because there is an upcoming update in the next couple of days, and of course there's going to be a lot of balance changes. There's going to be guns getting nerfed and buffed, and obviously it's going to be different after that. That is the reason why I did this, so that I can compare the pre-nerf and post-nerf and or buff. Now I do want to say that there are 3 guns in this list which couldn't quite make it to the top 5, and yes, I do have a grading system as well. I took in 3 factors into consideration: the recoil control, damage, and the time to kill. Now of course the time to kill is inverse compared to the other two, so it's basically like the lower the time to kill is, the better the weapon is. So the formula is simple: recoil control plus damage minus the time to kill gives you the final score, depending on which I've graded the guns. Now the first honorable mention that I was talking about is the AK-117. This was the best gun in the game, not even the best assault rifle. It was the best gun in the game back in season 1 and 2 until the Type 25 took over it, which brings us to number 2 honorable mention, the Type 25. This gun was really amazing back in season 3 and 4, but the heavy nerf restricted it from getting into this list because it's not good anymore in any range other than the close one. And the third one is the BK-57, which is a pretty decent gun, but I would say it's more of like a beginner's gun: low recoil, moderate damage, moderate time to kill. It doesn't really deserve so much of a spot on our top 5 assault rifles list. Let's get into the video, and here it is, the number 5 assault rifle, the LK-24. Now I'll give you guys my honest opinion about the people who use it. I don't really think this gun is all that popular. I would really say that it's quite underrated. I don't see anyone using this gun other than the bots. Seriously, there are only quite a few people that I see using this gun, and the reason that it is still on my list is, well, just take a look at these shots I'm making. I don't even have a grip on, for God's sake. Now, without a grip, this gun looks like it has 0 recoil. Then imagine the gun with a grip. Although I wouldn't really suggest you putting a grip on it because it doesn't need a grip. And there is no other gun in the game which has this low recoil with the damage. Now the scores this gun gets is a recoil control is a 10, damage is an 8, and time to kill is a 4, which puts it at a total score of 14. And the attachments that I'm running on this gun are FMJ, extended mag, and quick draw. And of course I'm running the iron sight on this gun. Now let's talk a little bit about the number 4 assault rifle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's none other than the AK-47. Now I don't really need to tell you guys much about the AK-47. I mean, the name speaks for itself. This gun is just so amazing. And also, if you could fetch any of the epic versions, be it the AK-47 Jade or AK-47 Tank or the one that I'm using presently, the Steel Blue AK-47, all these 3, since they are epic, they have a better range, as well as it says it's one of the perks of having an epic assault rifle that is an epic. AK-47, I would say, at least has higher range. Now why is it on the number 4 spot? Here it is, because this gun is the second highest damage dealing gun, and the first one, the highest damage dealing, is the Man of War. But well, a spoiler alert, Man of War is not in the top 5 list. That is because it has just way too much horizontal recoil. Now vertical recoil, as I told you guys earlier in the video, earlier in my previous videos, is not really an issue because vertical recoil is easy to control, but the horizontal recoil really isn't. It's really hard to control the horizontal recoil. Now I know I could have used a red dot, or I could have used any sight to make the recoil control better on this gun, but I chose not to because I like running the iron sight because that gives me an advantage in scoping in faster, and I really feel that is pretty important. So the scores that this gun gets is recoil control a 7 on 10, damage is a 9 on 10, which is pretty high, and the time to kill is 2, because if you can land your shots, it's amazing. So the attachments that I'm running on this gun are an extended mag, quick draw, and a foregrip. Yes, it does need a foregrip. Coming in at that number 3 spot is a gun that came to the game recently. That's right, the KN-44. Now, I cannot tell you guys enough how amazing this gun is. I don't know whether you guys use it or not, but this, I could say that, is my go-to gun when it gets to any range, be it the close, medium or long range, because it does have moderate recoil. I don't say that it doesn't have recoil. No, it's not like the LK24 that doesn't have recoil, but you guys see that I just took out 4 people with 1 mag. Well, fine, you can say I had an extended mag on, but what does that give me? 8 extra bullets, but 1 entire mag. Well, not 1 entire mag, but 1 mag is what it took me to kill 4 people. Now, if that doesn't tell that this gun deals high damage, I don't know what will. And the recoil is moderate, and if you put a grip on it, I would say that it's definitely controllable, even if you play on a mobile phone. And as I told you guys earlier, playing on an iPad is easy because, well, it's bigger and you have a lot more space to work on. So the recoil control is easier as well. It is much easier. Now, of course, this gun had the legendary version as well, the color spectrum, and that's a pretty beautiful skin, but obviously I didn't spend any money on it. Go ahead and buy it. I just stuck to the grindable version, which was a pretty tight grind. It almost took me an entire day to grind for this weapon, which I guess is the longest that it has ever taken me to grind for any new weapon in the game. Well, I would still say that this gun was totally worth all the grinding for, because, well, you guys can see right here why the KN-44 is absolutely insane, right? So now let's talk about the scores or the points that I gave the KN-44. So the recoil control, this gun gets an 8 out of 10, because if you put a foregrip on it, I would say that the recoil control is pretty easy and the recoil is moderate. The damage, I would give it a strong 8, and the time to kill is a 2, which puts this gun at a total of 14 points, which is pretty amazing. The attachments I'm using on this gun are a quick draw, extended mag, and a foregrip. So now let's get into the number 2 spot, the M16 assault rifle. Now this is another one of the, I would say, unsung heroes kind, just like the LK24, which are seriously underappreciated. Now this gun, let me tell you, doesn't have a high damage, doesn't have great recoil control, no. But why did it make it on this list, and why is it number 2? Well, that's because this gun has the fastest time to kill in the entire game. No gun beats it. No gun at all. Yes, and I was a little bit wrong about the MSMC, because this gun, if you get close enough to the opponent and you could land that 3-shot burst, it takes only that first burst, the 3 bullets to kill 1 opponent. Now that is valid only if you can land your shots, and I would really say that this gun deserves the number 2 spot just because of the fact that it has such a fast time to kill. It definitely is the fastest killing weapon in the game, and as I told you guys, the recoil is decent. It's not all that much, and the damage is pretty much the same, not the highest. But the one thing I would really suggest you guys should do to make this gun better and easier to use is ADS rather than hipfire, because, well, it's a burst weapon, right? So what if you were to just scope in the last moment, but the burst is not over yet? What if you fired only 1 out of the 3 bullets, right? That's basically a waste of the remaining 2 bullets, because first of all, those 2 bullets are going nowhere, and second, out of the bullets that going nowhere, it's not even hitting your enemy. So you're not only losing out on your ammo, but you are not even dealing damage to your opponents. So this gun gets an 8 for damage as well as recoil control, and the time to kill is a 1. That puts it at a total of 15, and the attachments I'm using for this gun are FMJ, quick draw, and foregrip. So we are here, ladies and gentlemen, the number one assault rifle. Before I tell you what it is, this gun got a buff earlier this season, and it was so OP that they had to nerf it. But even after the nerf, it isn't down. It is none other than the ASM-10. That's right. This gun was pretty much like unheard of back in, I'd say, season 1, 2, 3, 4. But on a serious note, the buff that it got in the start of season 5, going from Battle Pass season 4 to 5, the range buff that it got really made it the best assault rifle there is in the game to use. And I'll just be honest with you guys, this is a really amazing weapon to use. And yes, as I told you guys, it was so good that it had to get nerfed. I'm not even mad that they nerfed it, because this gun deserved a nerf. It was way too good to be in Call of Duty Mobile. So yes, they decided to nerf it, and I'm not even mad about it, because it still is so amazing. I wouldn't complain about this gun any day. Now, of course, the recoil right now is a little bit kicking compared to much it was earlier, but I would still say that this gun still deserves that number one spot on our list. Why? Because this is a 3-shot weapon, just like the M16, but the only issue that M16 had, because of which it couldn't make it to the number one spot, is that it has more recoil. Since it's a burst weapon, it really doesn't engage enemies much in the long range. You can land maybe a shot or maybe 2 out of the burst of 3 shots that you fire at your opponent in the long ranges, which obviously isn't ideal if you're using a gun, right? You need an assault rifle that performs amazing everywhere, be it close, medium or long range. And the answer for all these 3 is the ASM-10. Damage, you have it. Recoil control, put a grip on it and it's amazing. Time to kill, you needn't even ask. Now yes, I did put a red dot on this gun because I wanted to have better recoil control, but nonetheless this gun is absolutely insane, bro. So yes, that's gonna be the end of this gameplay for the ASM-10, and now I'll just quickly read out these scores for you guys. The damage, this gun gets a 9 out of 10. The recoil control is an 8 out of 10, and the time to kill is 2, which puts it at a total of 15, which is pretty high. The attachments I'm running are an FMJ, laser sight and foregrip. That makes this gun absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my video, make sure to drop me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from my channel. Also follow me on my Instagram, I'll link the ID down below in the description. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.